We're all good. We got this TV. We'll see if we do it. And now, have you figured out a way to record it simultaneously, or is that two cup? Great. Great.
It's going to be recording the audio, and then we can loop the video.
Perfect. This is really exciting.
It is. We will be able to probably in the future have like the logo up there, don't you think?
Just for the guest's sake?
I don't know. Yeah, I guess.
We're recording now, yeah?
Yeah, we're recording.
Why would you?
I don't know. Aesthetically, it might be nice. You know?
You got notes on the aesthetics?
No, if it might
Russell,
feel.
you almost canceled the Patreon because you couldn't get your calendar together. You got notes on the aesthetics?
Yeah, I do. I got fucking notes.
Okay.
Hey,
Now you feel good about
are we recording this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You feel, that's what we do here generally.
Yeah.
Now you feel good? You feel good about, I don't want to upset our producer, but I want to ask you, placement, you happy with it?
Yeah, I love it. No,
It's
I
not
love
too
it.
high?
Yeah, I actually didn't notice it for like a long time while I was waiting.
Okay.
I like sat down and then all of a sudden I noticed the TV.
We'll figure out the files right now. It says Russell Opera Final and Baldwin the Cocksucker. Baldwin the Cocksucker. We know what that is. Welcome to The Downside. My name is Gianmarco Soresi. I'm here with my co-host Russell Daniels, whose haircut is looking good.
It took a little bit of time.
Sometimes they take a week.
Yeah. Take a week or two.
That's why you went to Barbados, just
to get out of town
so no one
till-
could see.
Yeah.
We're here with our amazing guest, Ira Madison III. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Did you change colored glasses?
I had on sunglasses.
Oh.
Oh, it's because they were the same frame. They were
Yeah.
chunky. So I was like, you have the same. Wow, that's style.
Yeah. I was actually with some friends on Fire Island, and I've had these for a while, the black ones. And multiple of them came to me and said, you have to get these yellow sunglasses because they're you. And I went there
Sure.
and they were me.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm trying to go to Fire Island with Jay, our mutual friend Jay.
Okay.
I'd love for Russell to go.
He's wild in Fire Island.
Oh,
Busy.
well,
Yeah.
I told Jay I want to feel very physically secure before I go with Jay.
Is that why you're bringing me?
No, that's no. Russell and I said our dream. I guess this is a little.
Our dream?
I hope this isn't too objectifying. Our dream is to be at a party where we're just chilling, eating crudité, while there's an orgy around us.
Okay.
But we're just chill.
Yeah.
And we're just talking. And listen, if something happened, sure.
Yeah.
But we're
You
just
know
chilling.
what? There is crudité at some of them.
Are there?
Yeah.
Is it specific like?
How does it work? Do people have houses? Like I don't.
So
I,
you
like,
rent
we don't know how it works.
houses. You rent houses.
And you can just
there.
rent it for a week or
Yeah.
you rent
So-
days or.
My friends and I have a share. So you can rent that for, several weeks out of the summer. Or you can sort of rent a place just randomly. If it's like on Airbnb or wherever. So
Do you mind if we ask you about orgies? Because I've never been
Go
part of
ahead.
one. So this shared house, do you have any? You have orgies at this house?
Not ours.
Not yours.
No.
And was that a discussion when you got to share? They said, "Hey, this is
We're
the."
just not those people.
Okay.
You know?
Oh, okay.
You can pop into one. There's plenty of our friends who do. But, having one at your own house is very... I don't like people in my house. Whoopi Goldberg.
Yes.
I don't want a
Yes.
man in my house. I don't want anybody in my house.
Let alone 30.
Yeah.
Wait, is that a Whoopi Goldberg bit?
It's a quote she when asked about getting married. She said, I don't want a man in my house.
I thought you were saying I don't want Whoopi Goldberg. in my house. I was like,
I
you're
love
it's a very
Whoopi.
specific person to not want in your house.
I love Whoopi.
Okay.
No,
Whoopi
she
said, "I don't want to be married. I don't want to get married.
Yeah.
I like
Oh,
my
got it.
my
Okay.
own thing."
She said, I don't want a man in my house.
Okay.
Yeah.
"What was her euphemism though? She had some euphemism like, yeah, I like to fuck."
Yeah, something about she still likes to have fun. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
very specific. So
But it was like for the view.
yeah.
She wasn't like, I like to get dick down every once in a while.
Yeah.
So at a party, if it's moving, does someone say, "Hey, there's an orgy at John's," or is it more like, "Hey, we're going over there. Everyone's feeling a little loose."
Right. So obviously there are ones where specific people are invited. They're letting people that they're into know that they're having one, and that's like a private one.
Sure.
And then there's a party where you just hear there's a party at so and so Fire Island Boulevard, and you know what that party is going to be, but then you can go there.
You just know.
Yeah, you just know
just
because
know.
the people tell you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Do
or you
some
know
people
who's
go to the-
hosting it.
Do some people go to the orgy and go, "Oh, I'm just here to chill and vibe"?
Well, I mean, we have gone to one before when the regular party we were at, the the deck stopped working, so the person wasn't able to DJ anymore.
Uh-huh.
So we were like, well, we're up. We want to go to our after party. So we
Sure.
just showed up
Okay.
and hung out in the kitchen. And they had like a platter. They had plenty of liquor, champagne. These were DC gays.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. DC people very
I was
like.
about to be like, oh, DC
well,
guys.
we
sure.
hate that. We hate them in general.
Just
and
'cause
people
they're-
from DC. Yeah, but
That's where I grew up.
they do know how to put. They know how to present. Yeah.
Interesting.
I think if I was a participant in the orgy, I just fear rejection the whole time. I'd fear I'd be like, hi, and I'd be like,
Yeah.
it's a lot of capacity for hurt feelings. That's my question. Is orgies end with some people feeling really butthurt, so to speak?
I mean, there's someone who's attracted to everybody, but the white gays of Fire Island are typically attracted to one thing. So you might get hurt if you're not that.
The way that I am at a party, I know is the way I'd be at an orgy, which means like I would kind of be sitting in a corner, hoping someone would come over to
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
just on my phone, completely nude, like this. But I feel like crudité. There's some crudité that you wouldn't want. You'd want everything to breath smell good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carrots, I
Yeah,
would think.
specific foods.
Baby carrots,
Yeah. Chips.
chips. But salt and vinegar. Suddenly, everyone's got salt and vinegar on them.
Yeah. Well,
Well, we're gonna have to go.
Hummus.
But don't you think at some point you'd be like, lick this hummus off my.
Oh my God.
now there are parties where the vibe is loose orgy and that it's actually a party, but there is a room where people are having sex.
And it's a room though. It's like
It's a
that's
room.
the room. It's
It's
not
the
just like
room.
whoa, that couch.
Yeah, it's just like it's not like out in open air. So
Got it.
Because I did a show at a sex club here once, but it was like it was short enough after COVID. It was still like quarter capacity sex club.
Oh my God.
And all I remember is like it was people. It was straights bumping and grinding kind of
Yeah.
during the comedy show. I was expecting like
yeah.
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
Applause
But
break.
there's probably rules for like clubs, right? Like, especially like.
No.
Yeah, I don't know if this was operating within the rules.
That's true. You're right.
Yeah, most don't.
Because strip clubs here. So I'm not a strip club guy. Not like this guy over here.
I like a strip club.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't like to feel horny and then just get over it.
That's fair.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
attracted to the women.
You know, I've never I truly
Yeah.
I would understand strip clubs if it was like, oh, I'm then paying for sex work and we're having sex and I'm
Yeah.
gonna come. But the idea of just being hard with the boys,
Yeah.
and then swallowing it, and then going back to talking, that's
Yeah.
not my jam.
True.
Yeah.
So
I
Also,
like
there's a
strip
lot of-
clubs with women.
yes,
Yes,
Okay.
I like that because
Yeah.
I'm not horny there.
You
know.
right.
So
would you get a lap dance just to be like, what is it like?
I've had one before because I was being very nice to this woman, but I was like, that's enough.
There's a lot of pressure. They put a lot of pressure on
Yeah.
you sometimes to
Oh,
do it.
yeah.
you
They're-
know?
they're-
That's the other thing I don't like. It's like too
They're
much.
vultures.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which makes sense. They got to pay the rent, you know?
For sure.
But I like to sit in the front, throw bills, if they're.
Yeah.
Are there
If
that
they're-
many gay strip clubs, or no? They just go, let's just do the
Yeah.
orgy instead. What are we doing?
I know. Yeah. There's not really gay strip clubs. This was why I
There's
prefer,
like ones for women.
Yeah.
maybe,
I go to Jumbos in LA. I used to go there.
They're called libraries.
Yeah. I like seeing women do working the pole, you know?
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, it's very funny when it's lazy.
Yeah.
It's very.
Yeah.
I just saw. There's just one where there's just we're covering this just like, and I was like, I can do it better than that. So in New York, at least, I went to a strip club with my friend once, and it was just topless, and that was it. My first strip club was in Baltimore, and I don't know if I've told this fully on here, but I was I was 18.
Yeah.
I was a virgin.
Yeah.
Full nude.
Okay.
Full nude.
Yeah.
And the lap dances, you paid $40, I think, for a song.
Okay.
And you went in a back area with all these lazy boy type couches, real springy, and they put down a towel, and the woman, it was insane.
Yeah.
It was insane. The thing that I didn't like, they were really into doing showing off their isolation skills. So they'd like put their butt in your face, and then they'd be like boop, 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 boop. And I was like, cool, but not.
What do they do with the boobs too?
Not what I'm paying for.
And then it was just, I think at 18 it was so confusing because I knew not to touch.
Yeah.
But they would like put your hands on their ass, and
Yes,
you were like, you were
yes,
making them
yes.
like all like a fish.
But you were afraid to like.
I was scared to do
grasp,
anything.
You know, yeah.
Scared to grasp.
Same thing as I remember one time. I think I've told on this, but when I got motorboated, and I was so nervous that because they.
Wait, you got motorboated.
I was
The stripper went to you.
motorboated me. Wait, no.
No, you motorboated.
She motorboated me. Wait, no, I motorboat. Wait,
What did you do?
her boobs were hitting my face.
Oh,
You were
so that's not.
motorboated.
I was motorboated.
I don't know if that's because motorboating is when you put your face in and you go. Blah, 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 blah. You're saying they.
Okay, here's what happened. But they had strict rules. But like she went to
thought she
do it.
got your
She
tits.
put me. No. She put my face between her tits, and started doing it. But I was so nervous that I was like. I pulled my lips in because I didn't want her to think I was like trying to do anything inappropriate. You
Of
know?
course.
So I was like, you know,
You're just like a baby rejecting broccoli. And then mine again, 18. I don't think I had even fingered someone before.
Oh my
She fingered herself
specific.
Okay.
and then gave me a wet willy.
Oh,
Oh,
where was
see,
this?
Did you not know this?
No.
Yeah, this was in Baltimore.
That sounds like
And-
Baltimore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean it was shocking. It was. I ran to my friends because I was in the lap dance. They were watching, and I was like, I just got fingered, and then it was. People are always they are grossed out by it, but like at that age,
Hey.
hey,
Hey.
it was. I didn't wash my
Beggars
ear
can't-
for days. This is the downside.
1, 2, 3. Downside. You're listening to The Downside.
The downside.
With Gianmarco Soresi.
Welcome to the downside. My name is Gianmarco Soresi. This is a place where we get negative, we complain. Sometimes we get too much sex right in there.
Yeah.
Right in there. And that I'm sure we could watch the viewers just dip. But tell your hornier friends that this is the episode to start with. If you're a fan of the show, join the Patreon, patreon.com/downside. Bonus episodes, live episodes, my comedy special, The Rats Are in Me, and footage from our live tour, which has wrapped by the
happened.
time this comes out,
Yeah.
July 30th. Ira Madison III, writer, podcaster, and is there anything else you like in there?
No.
No. You got a book coming out soon, though?
I do.
February.
February.
Author feels
Author.
like you did something.
Yeah.
Writer.
Yeah.
We all write. Author.
Yeah.
Very happy to have you.
Thank you.
The third.
Yeah.
Whenever I hear it or see it, it makes me want to go, the third. It's very regal.
Yeah.
Did you add it later when you became like a pro and you're like, this sounds good? Or as like a kid, were you like, the third?
No, I did add it later. I have like a hyphenated last name too. My mom and my dad's, and I feel like through every school I've gone through different versions of my last name until I finally settled on Ira Madison III.
What were the other versions that you?
Well, like my
toyed
mom's
with?
last name is Sherrod. So Ira Sherrod Madison III.
That's a lot.
That is
Sometimes
a
the
lot.
Madison wasn't there. Like if you look at old diplomas or like yearbooks, it's a lot of names.
Someone's buzzing. We're ignoring it. Don't know what it is.
Okay.
I don't think we have another guest.
That happens in my apartment all the time when I'm recording.
Oh yeah.
Because I record from home now because it's easier than being in a studio.
Sure.
Mostly because the Crooked Media Studio is in LA, and here
Uh-huh.
they just send me somewhere, and I said I'm going to record at home.
Yeah.
But I live in West Village, and I live in a building obviously without a doorman, and so all day delivery people are just pressing
Everyone,
random buzzers
every button.
so that they can
Brutal.
get in, which is brutal when I'm recording, but then you appreciate it when you're not at home and your delivery's inside.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I do agree.
Yeah.
We somehow someone buzz. They knock. The super says, "We have to install the thing now, or the apartment will explode."
Yeah.
And I say no, and
Yeah.
Russell gets stressed.
Nicole always asks because we have that little monitor, and always asks who it is. I never ask.
Yeah, we just let them in.
And just let them in because I hate talking to someone through the little thing. I can't understand what they're saying. Anyways,
I tell Tom, I'm like, did you order some knives? There's a guy holding one right outside. I just let him in. I had my wallet stolen.
Oh.
I had my wallet stolen.
it was stolen. I thought you lost
no,
it.
it was stolen.
Wait, how was your wallet stolen?
So first of all, I have mild ADD of something. I lose stuff a lot.
Yeah.
Never the wallet, and it's just because it's always on my person.
Yeah.
Tova, my girlfriend, once she goes, wear baggier clothes. No one's into tight jeans anymore. So I go, okay, I'm wearing these baggy clothes, looking like. Sometimes I look in the mirror, I'm like, do I look like a Steve Buscemi with the skateboard in the high school? I really worry that that's what I am sometimes.
Yeah.
So, but so a lot of these pants, they're ties, not belts, and so I tie it, and they're loose, and so the wallet was weighing it down. It was too heavy.
Yeah.
So for the first time, never I do this. I put it in my backpack. Now my backpack, that's where the problems start. I leave that shit unzipped all the time. So I'm running around. I go to a show. I want to leave the second the show's over. I'm going down the escalator, and I saw some guy going up. He looked like it looked like he mouthed something to someone behind me. I clocked it in a small way. In my head, I thought, what is he, on vocal rest?
Yeah.
And then I get to the platform. I look for my wallet. My bag's wide open, I see. And then I can't find the wallet. I'm like, oh my God. I go from, when it comes to the wallet, I go from 0 to a trillion.
Yeah.
In terms of a inappropriate rage.
Yeah.
And I run back to the space. This was the worst. I'm running back to the show. People are now shuffling out. And it was a good set. I hope this part doesn't come off cocky.
Yeah.
I walk in. I'm running.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
There's an old man leaving. He goes, oh my God, you were so.
Oh,
and I go,
no.
thank you. I'm sorry. I can't. I think I lost my wallet. I go up in the space. 3 more people. Oh my God. I'm sorry. Thank you. I go into the space. It's empty. It's clear. The wallet's not there.
Yeah.
I'm in that space. I'm going, let's just be honest. Fuck! God fucking damn it!
Yeah.
I come back out. Now they're looking at me like,
Yeah.
I thought it was a good set. And, for a second, I'm hoping maybe I lost it. But I'm remembering that weird moment, and then boom, right in my phone. Chase fraud alert. Did you order something from Temu for $30?
Oh my God.
Which is, my question is, Temu for $30. That's Temu's is a bad move.
Yeah.
Use Amazon. More likely, I'm going to do Amazon. $30.
Yeah. Wait. Do they test it out on something small to see if
They
they
do,
can get
yeah.
like small, and then
What they should have done, they should have bought like Merrily We Roll Along tickets at the top price. And Amex would be like, well, it's him.
But I wouldn't know what to do. I would be if I stole someone's wallet, I wouldn't know what to do. Like I would be so nervous getting caught because you can't buy something in person, right? You'll be on camera. Like you have to do it online, right?
Sure, how am I going to track down the camera? I
don't
mean, think
know.
like Tova said you could try to get the footage from the escalator in the MTA. And
That seems stressful.
yeah.
Like I watched The Closer and other procedurals, and I can't imagine. It seems stressful on TV. I can't imagine going to the MTA.
They're not
First of
gonna
all,
help you.
The L doesn't even work.
Of course.
So imagine going to them and saying, "We're going to need that footage," and they'll be
It's
like,
going to take 3 years.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I once lost a phone on Metro North, or I left it there, and I watched it on my tracker go all the way north,
yeah.
and then start going back, and then it went away. I thought maybe they had it, so I went to the lost and found area of the MTA. This was years ago, and it's like a little station, I think in Penn, and they had. I mean, it is a room filled with thousands of iPhones.
Oh my God.
Thousands
Yeah.
of iPhones. And not mine.
Yeah.
And I mean, I
How do
couldn't
they know
believe
though?
it.
Like, what if it died and then
Sure,
you know?
I think they said, are any of these yours? And I said, I can't go through.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
it's so inconvenient. You go, fuck it.
That
Yeah.
happened to me. You brought up Merrily We Roll Along.
Uh-huh.
And so I went to see the show. I went to see a matinee last year at some point. My AirPods, we're sitting down for intermission. For intermission's over. We're sitting down for Act 2. I hear like something fall. and I know it's my AirPods. But then the lights go down immediately and the show starts. And I'm like, you know what? I'll get them when the show's over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They cost less than the tickets.
Yes. Well, the tickets were comped. But
Okay.
Oh.
anyway, story. I'm not bragging about merrily re-roll along tickets.
Compa, as in you stole someone's wallet and you bought them with
Yeah,
their credit card?
I stole yours.
Yeah.
Lights go up after the show's over, you know, the standing ovation, people start to file out, and now I am looking for my AirPods, and I cannot find them. But it says they're in the building. So I'm running around.
Usher stole them.
2 ushers. I'm running around.
usher's like,
Lost and
"What did you say?"
found. No one can find them. They're still in the building. My friend and I go and we have a drink, and I'm complaining about it, and then I see the AirPods moving.
Oh my God.
To like Grand Central Station. I'm like, what is happening? Are they leaving? No. Then later in the evening, my friend and I are still hanging out. I see them move back to Times Square to another theater. So clearly, some person around me picked up the AirPods.
Thought they were
and
theirs.
Thought they were theirs or just took them.
Yeah.
And we're just hanging out during the day, and then went to see another show, and
Yeah.
then went to Westchester.
You never got them.
No. I'm like, what am I going to do? Go to Westchester, show up at this person's house?
You can like lock it.
Yeah.
You can send a message. It's
It's easier on your phone, I feel like, but AirPods,
Yeah.
like, if there were a voice where you could say, hey, these aren't your fucking AirPods.
Yeah.
Return them.
that would be nice
Yeah.
if you could install that instead of the beep beep beep
Yeah.
beep beep. Hey,
Hey, these are not yours. Yeah.
And you're just talking to them all day while they're using them, so then they return them
Yeah.
because they're annoyed.
yeah.
I one time left a full suitcase. It was after an Uncle Function show. Full suitcase, my laptop, everything important in my life, wallet, everything was in this suitcase. In the back of a taxi, and it was a taxi, not an Uber. So
Good luck.
it was a horrible night. It left as soon as I got out of the car and remembered it was in the trunk, and he left without. And I was like, oh fuck. It was such a process. I got it back,
How'd
but
you
it's
get it?
only because I had I have to do this right now tonight, otherwise it's gone forever.
Yeah.
I had to contact my credit card company to find out what car thing they located the garage that it belonged to, and blah, blah, blah. We were able to nail down with the garage who it was, send a message to him in the middle of the night, basically, but he didn't speak English. So it was like this whole big thing. And then eventually I was able to, the next day, drive out to Queens to meet his daughter, who had the suitcase and gave it to me.
Sounds like a meet cute.
It was...
It does.
It was very stressful.
Did you leave a tip?
I did, yeah. Oh, yeah.
How
I
much
gave
were we
him.
talking?
I don't remember at the time, but I remember giving. I tipped.
Here's a tip. Tell your dad to check the trunk before
tipped.
driving off next time.
I tipped him originally, but I remember giving her money too because I had cash. I was like, but
Because Uber has a cool feature where if you leave something, you can like report it and it pays them $20, I guess, automatically to bring it back to you. But then one time they said Uber doesn't actually give us that money, and so I gave them $20. And as they left, I said, "I know I was scammed.
yeah,
I just
Yeah.
got $40."
yeah.
So
They love to scam. You know? Ubers, I'm not going to complain about Ubers later because, you said don't complain about travel things. But
yeah.
Ubers, have you noticed that for one, you order an XL, these aren't XLs anymore.
I've never ordered an XL in my life, but
Oh, really?
in fact, when Uber
They're
puts
very-
the XL first, I go, "How
They're
fucking
very
dare
loose
you?"
with what they
It's
consider.
like it's supposed to be 6 people. It's like it fits
Yeah.
4. Or like the back is
Oh,
like
yeah.
for a wheelchair.
yeah.
Yeah, you don't order
I see.
XLs?
I've
he
never
doesn't have
had
enough
5
friends.
friends. I've never
Want to
needed.
go anywhere?
How else are you going to get to the club from the pregame? Like 3 people got to call cars, and then that's how you get to the club.
The club it's going to the club the same reason I don't go to a strip club. What, we're gonna feel horny and then just sit?
Is that what happens when you go to any club?
The club is where you dance.
I've been to a club 3 times, and one of them was a gay club, and it was
Which one?
all in college. I mean, it was at
Okay.
Miami.
We got to get you to basement.
Why? Tell me why.
Basement. I mean, it's like a dance club.
It's a good one.
Yeah, it's great.
Because what was my friend telling me about horse meat?
Horse Meat Disco is a very horny
it great?
party. That's gonna. You know what? That's like part orgy vibes, but there's a dark room.
There's a dark
What's
room.
a dark room?
Yeah,
How dark?
It's a shed out in the back.
Oh my God.
It's a shed.
A
Is
shed
it
in the
air
back of the
conditioned?
knockdown center. It is not.
It's hot.
Yeah.
It's hot physically, and the sounds.
Oh,
it's,
the
it's
knockdown
like,
center
It's
in
like
Queens.
it's like The Witch. Like it's very A24 horror movie.
Oh, yeah?
If you've been in there, yeah, because it's just dark. You can't really see someone. You're in there with someone.
sounds so
a
intense.
face pops up like in the light, and it's like one of your close friends, and you're like, get away from me.
Wait, the Knockdown Center in Queens. It's big. Huge.
Yeah, it's big.
I've been to concerts there.
Yeah,
Like-
so the Knockdown Center is there. They hold concerts there.
Yeah.
It's where Horse Meat Disco is.
Oh, okay.
Great.
It's huge venue though. Like
yeah.
there's like so many different rooms.
And beneath it
Oh.
is the club basement,
Got
which is
it.
very like European dance club vibes.
I just love the name horse meat. I just love to see just like men expressing fully what they want the night to be. I mean, like, you know, it'd be like if we can't. Hey, let's go over to the slippery puss. Let's
Horse meat, ketamine, and dick. You know?
Oh, the ketamine that's what it's referencing too.
No, but I'm just saying horse.
Sure. Ketamine, haven't done it yet.
horse is. Did they used to call heroin horse? Am I
Did
making
they?
that up?
Maybe they might have, but I feel like they give ketamine to horses, right? And so whenever people make horse jokes, it's referencing ketamine now.
Oh, okay.
I don't know the old heroin lingo.
Maybe I'm making it up.
It's just intimidating. Whenever I just think of
Heroin?
no horses.
Oh,
Oh,
It's a big dick.
well, it's. I mean, it's not like it's either you or a horse that's gonna fuck your girlfriend. I mean, what do you mean? You don't have to compare
I just
yourself
worried
to a
I'd
horse.
get in there at the line. They'd be like, "You gonna come in? Let's see.
I don't think that's
This is
how
horse
it
meat.
works.
You go over to goat meat.
Goat meat.
That's the animal. Okay, if you had to just quick, don't think about it. What animal is most accurate to your dick? Like, what do you think?
I've never seen a goat stick. Have you?
No, I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful.
Yeah.
That I'm at least average for goat.
You got to imagine if horses are so big, goats can't be that bad. You know, they got to be okay.
Sure.
Donkeys, I think those are pretty big.
Donkey dick.
Donkey dick.
Yeah.
It's a
That's a
phrase.
phrase.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. You're right.
He's got a donkey dick. No, but then because you'd be surprising, ducks have that long.
Do
thing.
they?
Ducks have
Oh.
It's a weird corkscrew thing. It like drops like a hook.
Corkscrew. I don't
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an evolution. It's got to like.
Oof.
So you grew up in Milwaukee.
I did.
I don't know anything about Milwaukee.
Okay.
Did you like it?
Yeah. It's
Uh-huh.
all right.
What I want to ask about your name. Who's the third? Who's second and who's one? Is this on your? Is it assumed dad's side if it's 1, 2, 3?
They're dead.
I know they're dead.
Yeah, to me. I don't know. I don't know
Sure.
anything about either of them, to be honest. Actually,
Really?
to be fair, it's a very complicated story in that it's not that complicated. But Lee is my middle name.
Okay.
And so I am technically the third Ira Lee.
Okay.
But it's not from my dad's side. I'm named after my uncle.
okay.
So I was just put the third on my birth certificate.
Is at least your uncle? Is he the second?
Yes, he's the second. And I'm named after my uncle because he died 4 months before I was born.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good guy.
Yeah. He was a
Okay,
Marine. Died in a car crash.
Oh no.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I never met him.
You never. met him.
Yeah, I know. Because I know one other third. I don't know any seconds.
You don't hear about the seconds that much. I think they just are like junior, senior, maybe, and
Yeah.
it doesn't really come into play until the third comes along. You know,
Mm-hmm.
because my uncle was a junior, like he was a
yeah.
like a. I mean, you know, they didn't call him junior, but he had the same name.
I just can't imagine in today's world, as much as I might like to, if I had a son and I said his name is Gianmarco, the looks, you see, that used to just be a thing.
I'd be like, okay, we got one. You know, I don't know. If we need two.
Gianmarco Jr. Jr. also feels very,
Yeah, junior. Yeah,
Junior.
it is
not
you-
Italian.
You can't really take a person serious if they're a junior.
sure,
you know what I mean?
sure.
Yeah.
Donald Trump Jr. That's all I can think about.
Yeah. It's not a serious thing.
But they'd probably like your son would have a nickname if you named him
Gianni.
Gianni or something.
Gianni.
Yeah.
Johnny, Marco.
I'd call him Donald Trump Jr.
By the way,
yes,
if you meet someone named Trey, they're usually a third.
really,
Because
Really?
Trey is the nickname for
Trey
like,
Stewart is a
yeah.
comedian I know.
Yeah.
Trey-
The
because
Trey is
the-
probably not his first name.
Wow,
It might be, but a lot of people who third is like nickname for Trey.
Oh.
Trey is the nickname for third. So
And you just make it Trey and get rid of the name altogether.
yeah, so a lot of people who are named Trey is not their first name. They're just going by Trey as a nickname.
It'd be cool to be the 9th
Yeah.
or the 5th, 6th, 7th.
Yeah.
I think that'd be you'd probably people would ask you all the time. I know I already asked you just now for 3rd, but if you were the 9th,
Yeah.
that's going to be every conversation you ever have.
Yeah.
For the rest of your life.
Yeah. Are you looking to have a kid?
No. But if I were, I would love a 4th and a 5th. Named Ira.
So you'd have 2 kids if I
Both named Ira.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah. Very Shakespeare vibes, you know?
Yeah.
Now, as I said earlier, I think we're recording this a little bit early, and so what we have to do is we just have to guess. What do you predict election-wise? We're at July 30th. What's just happened? Trump just announced J.D. Vance as his vice presidential nominee.
Did he?
He
As
did.
I was en route here?
In real
Uh-huh.
life. Yeah.
Ugh, that asshole.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
where do you think it's at right now? Biden's still in? July 30th. July 30th. What do you think?
Biden is
Crooked Media's own Ira Madison III.
Biden is barricading his door
Sure.
while people are trying to drag him out.
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't think he's leaving.
Is Jill on the inside?
Yeah, Jill's on the
Yeah,
inside.
she's-
I don't think he's bowing out.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
He is.
I mean, I would love
I'm
it,
so-
but I don't
There
think
were
he is.
so many like chances for him to do it. That press conference
honestly-
was basically like, "You want me to bow out?"
Yeah.
Well, honestly, looking back, thank God he didn't because it would have been buried by the thing.
The thing.
Yeah,
The thing.
makes you think.
Yeah.
Did he know?
Did he know?
Did he know?
Did he know?
No.
I have been having the time of my life reading conspiracy theories.
I know.
They are so fun.
So tell me why you enjoy them, because I think I read them and I go, man, this is not sustainable to think this way about everything. Is there any thread of you that goes, maybe?
A little bit, but I will say that's just because of the internet. And you're seeing stupid people's thoughts just thrown at you because of the algorithm.
Yeah.
Right? You have to imagine that these crackpots existed forever. You know, people have always had conspiracies.
Yeah.
They used to just like call into the radio.
Sure.
Like when you'd be driving and you hear talk radio, like someone would call in and be like, I think the president was abducted by aliens or whatever.
Yeah.
But now they're like online, and because they're showing up in your feed and so many people retweet them and people even retweet them, it makes it seem like more people are psychotic.
It's so crazy too, like when something like what just happened, and people overanalyze like a 1 to 2 second clip of something, and they're like, how come they reacted that way? And you're like, because it was 1 second. It was what you're looking at, and who knows what you would react to if you were looking at 1 second of your life.
99%.
And a gunshot happens and you didn't react in 1 second, and now you're like, what did that crazy lady behind Trump know? Nothing. She probably was looking at her phone and has a hearing problem and didn't even know what was happening, and that's all the answer it is. But like we look at these videos and you're like, how come this Secret Service agent like moved her hand here when she should have moved it? And you're like, because it was 1 second you're looking at. It's just like, it's so crazy.
99% of all conspiracy theories can be explained away by incompetence.
Yeah.
It was just incompetence. Why didn't they see him on the roof? Incompetence.
Yeah.
The guy who was supposed to do it was sick that day.
Yeah.
He
So they brought
was
a woman.
sleepy. So they brought a woman.
Those conservatives are really mad about the women.
These women Secret Service agents, they are upset.
The women, the conservatives are really mad about these women.
I don't want
Secret
to. I have no
Service.
sympathy. Period. Let me just end the sentence there. I have no sympathy anymore left. But like, man, does it gotta feel like shit to like? There's shootings. it's the one time of your job you have to do like the worst part of it. That's the bad day at the job.
yeah.
Hey, how was work today? It was bad. Someone
Yeah.
shot.
Yeah.
They did it today.
Yeah.
And you run on stage. You feel the adrenaline and the fear, and who knows? You got some of Trump's blood in you.
You know
It's,
what?
it's gross. And what does the internet do? They go, "What the fuck? Who is this loser
And
up
also,
there?"
what a job. On a good day, your job, you got to listen to Donald Trump speeches all day long. On a bad day, your job, you're getting shot at. Like, it's like a nightmare job.
Maybe they went home. Good day. I only had to hear half the speech.
You know what part of the problem I think is the women who are Secret Service agents look a little,
Yeah.
trunchbull, a little,
Yeah.
like muscular.
Maybe Trump,
Yeah.
maybe Trump requested that.
We need to bring back armed and fabulous secret agents like Sandra
Sure.
Bullock in Miss Congeniality.
Uh-huh.
She was a Secret Service agent. If they were hot, you think conservatives would be complaining?
No,
Sure.
you're right.
Though they'll be small enough, maybe something will get past them. Sometimes I don't know what body shaming is anymore.
Yeah.
Like it's we every time someone disagrees politically, we all shift and we go, well, now we're going to insult their appearance.
Yeah.
And we go, okay, so we're all agreeing that we're all still having these evil, horrible thoughts. Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever see when you want to say something, you're like desperate that they share it. They're like they're transphobic, and you're like, oh, thank God, I can
Yeah.
finally talk about their thin little lips.
Yeah.
Isn't it great when you hear someone that, sort of body shaming someone or saying, like, this person is absolutely ugly. And then you kind of start to wonder, what do they think about me? Like, what's in their head?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are they thinking about when they look at me every day?
Of course.
That's where my brain goes.
Yeah. Do you want me to tell you?
Sure.
So, you were raised by your mom.
Yes.
Do you know your dad at all?
I know of him.
You ever meet him?
Yeah. Like, he, vanished after I was 10.
After you were 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's he's alive?
Yes, because I rarely go home, but at a certain point he resurfaced, and sometimes goes to family events.
Oh.
But I've never been to one.
You've never been the one that he's happened to come by?
No, because I'm rarely in Milwaukee, so
Yeah, sure.
I've never been at a family event with him. I've not been in the same room as him since I was 10.
When you say family event, you mean both sides coming
or
together?
him,
Just
his
on
side.
my mom's side.
Just your mom's side, and he just
He'll
comes by?
pop by like a month.
Yeah, he's come to like birthdays and sort of like other events. Like a few years ago, around like COVID, like my grandmother had breast cancer and then she survived. But he, I think, was coming around sort of then, and then my sister was getting married, and so yeah.
Did you go to the wedding?
He was supposed to, but then didn't come.
And you're not talking no text or
No,
email.
no, we've never talked since I was 10.
Since
yeah.
you're 10.
Can you imagine if you were at a party at Fire Island and and he'd say, hey,
Do other people?
hey, I wanted to, what?
Do other people in your family do they?
Yeah, they talked to him.
They talk to him, and do they ever try to get you to talk to him?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Now, I have a lot of parent issues, and I had people fill in certain roles in my life that I look back and I'm like, oh, I was relying on them to be another figure of authority or knowledge or safety or wisdom. Were there any other people in your life, or did your mom?
My
take all
grandmother
of it?
mostly raised me.
Really?
Yeah.
Was she? How old was she when you were like a kid?
I am always forgetting my grandmother's age, but I know she was born in 1948.
48.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Because my dad's 1954, so young.
Yeah.
Okay. And she's around still.
She's around still.
That's
Yeah.
like
Great.
75.
My
76.
great grandmother recently died. So,
Oh God,
Oh, great.
yeah.
that's why
This year, actually. So, yeah. In her 90s.
90s.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping to break the 100.
I don't want to get there.
You want to break 100?
Oh yeah. I'll be pissed if I don't. I don't want to die.
No, yeah. Maybe we won't by then.
She thought I was my dead gay uncle for like the past 15 years.
Oh, really?
It's time to go.
And you're like, you got 1 out of 3.
Yeah.
That's wild. So if your grandma played like your mom's role in your life, what role did your mom play?
A nuisance.
Yeah?
She's fine. I love my mom, but at a certain point when I was younger, my mom had surgery and like a thyroid surgery, and we went to live with my grandmother, and then I just stayed living with my grandmother, and my sister moved back to live with my mom.
Oh my God. Okay.
But also, we were in Milwaukee, and my mom lived like down the street. So
Yeah.
it wasn't like she was far, but I stayed at my grandmother's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like when your friends came over, would they ever be like, "Where's your mom?"
No, because I feel like from school early on, my grandmother was always involved in like bake sales and like other school functions, or like she would be a chaperone on field trips. So my kids like sort of knew my grandmother was her.
Sure.
Yeah. Also, I feel like, I don't know, coming from the city that I was in and the schools I went to, I feel like a lot of kids had various different family members who, you know, had non-traditional families, you know?
Really?
Someone would take, like either people's mom wasn't in the picture or their dad wasn't in the photo picture.
Yeah.
Or their sister was raising them, or like their aunt was raising them. I feel like that's a lot of things that you experience in, I guess, like inner cities.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Because like the school I went to, like it wasn't like divorced, like that's the divorced parents' kid, but it definitely, most of them were still together.
Yeah.
They would get divorced if only they knew.
Really?
I mean, a lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 50% at least.
I think the stat, I believe they've said that that stat was based on like the 80s or 90s, and it's calmed down a little bit.
Oh, okay. It's gotten better.
I don't
Probably
know,
less
better.
pressure to get, it's not as much of a, like, people were being forced to get married younger in those days than now.
Sure. And now people are like, well, we're not divorced, we're
Yeah,
still,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it's ethical non-monogamy.
Yeah.
Everyone's parents were together when I went to high school, because I went to a Jesuit high school.
Oh,
Yeah.
So was that? So why did you go to a Jesuit high school?
Because it was sort of like one of the best high schools in Milwaukee. It was an all boys Jesuit high school, so my parents sent me there.
What are the specific things of Jesuits? Like, what are some rules?
Jesuits are supposed to be like the cool Catholics, you know?
The cool Catholics.
Yeah, they're chill with gays.
They are.
Oh.
Ish.
Ish.
You know,
Really?
and lax ish with like they're not as like serious as the Vatican or Catholics. You know,
When you went there, were you out?
no.
No.
God,
Catholics.
Yeah,
So were the teachers priests, nuns?
no. They were. We only had we had some priests who were teachers. We had no nuns. There was a sister school, Divine Savior, Holy Angels, which had nuns, and our school was a pretty good school.
And you do some theater stuff?
Yeah, I did theater there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You remember any shows?
Yeah, we did Footloose.
Footloose.
We did Hello Dolly.
Footloose, by the way, at a religious school, Footloose is very much like,
Yeah.
hey, you don't have to do the rules.
Yeah.
I've been working on a bit about I don't know. It's Footloose. Monogamy is like the town in Footloose, and people in open relationships are like the guy who's are like, hey, you can dance. And my girlfriend is the mayor of Footloose.
But I think it's the Reverend.
Is the Reverend?
It's the Reverend, right?
Is the Reverend because his son dies.
I'm sorry.
His son dies after a party where people were
Yeah.
Wait, that's why?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was just
His
a
son
stickler.
dies in
Oh.
a party.
There's
or
a-
Oh,
in
I didn't even
car
know that.
crash.
That's a good argument against dancing, frankly.
There's a party and kids are drinking and his son dies in a car crash, and so he bans dancing in the entire
I
town.
do think it's so funny that it's not the alcohol or the driving.
Well, that's a perfect
or
example
the other
of-
things. He's like, it's the dancing that
dancing.
led to that.
Because
Is
he
like-
wants to keep drinking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta go rewatch this.
Who? It's what's his name, right?
Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon.
No. The Reverend though is
John Lithgow.
yes.
Yeah, John Lithgow.
Yeah.
Great
go see
movie. I love Footloose. I love the musical, and I love the remake with Miles Teller.
There's a remake with Miles
I
Teller.
don't remember
Yeah,
that.
like 2012.
Oh my God.
Wow.
I gotta check it out.
Yeah.
Did they use all new music?
they use new music, but there is sort of a remix of
the original song.
Let's Hear It for the Boy.
Oh.
Any chance of the remake is it
And
the
the
mayor
original.
instead of the reverend? Because that would help my bit.
No, it's the Reverend.
I might
You
just
gotta
cheat
use
and
the
keep
Reverend.
the bit.
It's the Reverend. And obviously there's new dance moves because it's 2012. So,
Oh,
there's hip hop.
Oh, there's hip hop.
Yeah.
Oh, that adds a whole new a texture.
But they don't really get into race. And so it's just very weird that this white Reverend has banned dancing in a town that has a lot more black people than the original movie.
Yeah.
I just don't know how like we're not dancing because this white man told us not to. I don't know about that.
Really funny.
So okay, you did. And were you in Footloose?
No, I was on stage crew. I was largely in stage crew.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was not comfortable on stage enough to give a winning audition.
Did you audition though?
I auditioned.
I feel like
For
you're
every show.
charismatic.
I am
mean,
now.
You weren't then.
Not in high school.
You're in regular glasses.
Yeah.
Just one color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really needed glasses in high school too. I got LASIK a few years ago.
Uh-huh.
There's nothing in these.
Oh.
Oh my God, it's like a magic trick.
Yeah.
LASIK.
Yeah.
I feel like I've heard more people say it's too dangerous. Like there's been a shift in the conversation.
People say that, and I don't get it because it's very easy. It's not like that Final Destination scene where the girl's getting
Oh my God, I don't even know the scene.
Oh.
What happens?
like she's the laser whatever slices her
Oh!
eye open. But she also trips, and I think a scalpel goes through her eye or something too. You've seen any of those movies before, right? The
Well-
deaths are very dramatic.
It was in middle school. I was watching with a girl I had a crush on, and the plane exploded, and then the guy died in the shower. And I went in my dad's room, and I said, "Hey, I'm freaking the fuck out right now. I need you to go in there and say we can't watch this movie so I don't look like a loser in front of this girl."
Yeah.
And sure enough, I went back in the room. My dad didn't wait long enough.
Yeah.
He kind of came right in.
Yeah.
And he slid up, opened the door. Was like, "Is this Final Destination?" Like he knew immediately.
Yeah.
He knew within a second. And he said, "No son of mine is watching Final Destination." And I was like, "Fuck you, Dad." And she still didn't kiss me.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, you cut the date short. What else you
Yeah.
gonna do? I mean, you ended the date.
It's also not a horny movie.
Yeah, no, not at all.
But if you're a teenager, I guess anything's a horny
I mean,
movie.
it
Yeah.
launched a early existential night, like a night of me going to my dad, like, "What happens when you die?"
Oh my god.
Like that movie for sure. It was that movie, some other movie when I was. I can remember two big moments.
We watched that movie en route to a school trip to Paris, which is crazy because the plane blows up
Yeah.
while they're going to Paris.
Well, they're going to Paris.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
I don't think anybody was thinking, but
Did they play it on the plane?
we played on a bus on our way to the airport.
Oh my god.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Were you scared?
No, I love Final Destination. I had seen it before.
I hate scary movies.
It's like
Yeah.
a whole thing. There's a bunch of movies, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like,
there's 5 of them, and they're making a new one. And the deaths are so silly that I don't know how you can be scared of them because it's
I'll find a way.
Yeah.
because it's like death is coming for you, right? And there's always you'll see something where it's like your pilot light's on and you're smelling gas, and then you're watching it and you're thinking like, oh, Gianmarco's gonna die with like his
Yeah.
it's gonna blow up. But then somehow it'll end up being like you'll hear like a knock at the door and you'll open it up and some one left a toy like in the hallway and you'll trip over that and then fall down the stairs and snap your neck. Like it's never how you think the death's gonna happen. It's always something completely insane.
Were you into like all horror?
Yeah.
Like slasher?
Yeah, like
I was
Scream is my favorite.
I love the Screams.
Yeah.
Do you get scared? You love the
I
screams?
do.
Scream movies are
Well, I
great.
remember the original Scream was like one of the first rated R movies I saw, and I was like loved it. You know
I
what
had
mean?
another crisis when I saw that movie. I
Really?
remember it. I remember I was
It's-
at the
it's-
beach with my
it's
mom.
It's actually revisited. You know, now that they have new ones coming out, I revisited and watched in the last couple years, and it's more upsetting now as an adult than
It's still scary.
it's still scary, and also the violence is upset. You're like, oh, these are people that are really getting butchered. And it felt more real watching it as an adult than when I was a kid. To me, you know.
Yeah.
I was more desensitized or something when I was a kid.
You don't like most scary movies. You're not a scary movie guy.
I'm not like but I like slasher. Like I liked the Friday the 13th. I liked Halloween. I liked the
Nightmare on Elm
Screams.
Street.
I wasn't a big Nightmare. Something about it was too like the dream stuff. It was, well, I wasn't into that.
What about Are You Afraid of the Dark? Or are you more
I
like,
watched as
I
a
guess you're
kid.
older, so Twilight Zone?
I had Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Like that movie, I mean, that show.
That TV show.
That
show
TV
was great.
show. Oh, it
Kinda
was
scary, though.
I'd watch it, but it would like there was the episode, this guy, he played pinball machine he wasn't supposed to.
Yeah.
And so he like suddenly he's in the game and he has to beat it. And then he gets to the end and it starts over at the beginning. And immediately I'm like, infinity, suffering, hell. I mean, like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Immediately, I created hell without people telling me about
Yeah.
it, like from that show. And like the concept of infinite suffering sent me spiraling.
Yeah.
Goosebumps?
Oh,
Goosebumps?
I was thinking of Goosebumps.
Yeah.
So that's what made me want to be a writer, to be honest.
Really?
I read every Goosebump book.
Yeah.
The day they came out, like I would leave school, my grandmother would take me to Walden Books. That was still around then. And it was
Yeah.
our closest bookstore. I would buy the new one.
Yeah.
Usually read it in one night
Yeah.
before school the next day, even. That's how obsessed with them
That
I
was
was.
pretty. That was a wild time.
Yeah, and that is
Goosebumps.
those books. The endings were very that infinity thing.
Yeah,
I keep
yeah.
thinking, I'm like, do you remember the Cuckoo Clock one?
Remind me, because I see the
Yeah,
cover.
the Cuckoo Clock of Doom.
Great
and
covers.
it
Great
is-
feel. Oh.
It's a thing where like he something happens where like it's his sister never exists. Someone doesn't exist in the book because of the cuckoo clock, like that, like their existence is erased or something. And then he goes through like the entire book trying to reverse it. And then at the end, everything is sort of as it was. And then it turns out, no, he just now went into a reality where his sister doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It must be really fun to make it your job to be like, oh, I know, I'll find 10-year-olds and I'll scare the
Yeah.
shit out of them.
But did you ever read R.L. Stine had like he wrote other books like for a slightly
Fear Street for the
yeah.
teenagers.
For like the teenagers.
Those
he had
were
like all
nasty.
those. Yeah, they were.
What if he wrote one for just older people, just like, and then he had dementia, and then cancer snuck in? I miss when the monsters weren't real. You know what I mean?
Fear Street were slasher-esque
Slasher,
because
yeah.
Fear Street was a lot of just crazy teenagers
Yeah.
like killing each other
Yeah.
or ghosts.
Yeah. Ghosts.
Yeah.
Some witch stuff too.
Yeah, and the evil cheerleaders.
Yeah.
You know what I also learned, though, that was upsetting? He was, I mean, not really that upsetting, but I found out that he had ghostwriters.
The whole time.
Like
Yeah.
actual like people who had died.
Like ghostwriters, like. I hate you. I hate you so much. But he didn't write all the books himself.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, at a certain point.
yeah, he wrote 9,000
Yeah,
books.
at a certain point, you're churning out a new Goosebump book, a new Fear Street book every month.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
He wasn't at home click clacking,
You
like
think
especially then, not like on typewriters or early word processors.
He must have made so much money though at the height of his thing, right?
Oh yeah, he probably still makes a
Those
shit
books
ton of
are
money.
$3.99.
No, but with the height of
But
them
people,
coming out,
people bought books.
people bought
Sure.
books.
I mean,
Yeah.
I
Also-
wasn't even a fan. I had the whole
Yeah.
Also, the merchandising from Goosebumps, and then there was
Yeah.
the TV
the
show
TV
on
show
Fox.
that scared me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they made a movie, and then there's a new TV show on
is it?
Hulu,
Oh, really?
which was pretty scary.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
The scariest thing to me as a kid was Unsolved Mysteries. That would terrify me.
Is that the one with the guy who goes?
Robert Stack.
I've
'cause
never
they'd
watched this show.
They would be like reruns, and they'd be on TV, and it was before you. There was a time where you could Google and find out, so you just never knew how anything ended. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it would just be
Yeah.
scary things. Like sometimes it'd be alien stuff, sometimes it'd be ghost stuff, sometimes it'd be missing person, kidnapped
Would
children.
it ever be real? Was it all bullshit? Like,
No,
was
it's
it ever
all
like
real.
a real?
I mean, it's all like I mean, unsolved
Someone went
mystery.
missing.
Like someone went missing.
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
but
yeah.
like sometimes there's more like a like unexplainable things. Too,
Yeah.
you know? But, oh, it scared me.
What does he say? Like they always show a clip, entirely fictional.
No,
Unbelievable. No,
Oh,
he-
that guy. That's a different guy.
Oh, that's a different
That's
guy?
a different show. you're
Yeah,
thinking
different
of.
show.
Yeah, I don't know.
God. For me, my scary, at least for Goosebumps, it was the dummy.
Oh, Slappy.
Oh, yes.
Slappy. Something
Yeah.
about
That was
that
a whole
face.
series.
But
I could not sleep in a room now if there were a dummy there.
Yeah.
the first one I feel like is scary though. There are the first Night of the Living Dummy.
Yeah.
By the time
Yeah.
you get to Night of the Living Dummy 4, Slappy, it's like enough.
I enjoyed the choose your own adventure.
I never got into those.
They're kind of fun.
Yeah, those are good books.
I was always like, no, you tell me what the story is going to be. I'm not doing your
I'm
job.
not lifting a goddamn finger. Mom, turn the page. That inspired you to be a writer.
yeah, I loved Goosebump books.
So you got a master's in playwriting?
I did.
Because we're both theater boys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to read plays. I used to read so much plays. I don't like reading screenplays because there's too much extra shit around the words.
Yeah.
But I love reading plays. I really should go back to it. But the drama bookshop, that's just I used to always go to drama bookshop. Always get the Pulitzer of that year.
Yeah.
What did you ever see a play growing up that like made you go, oh shit, that was good?
Yeah, I think it was I saw like Rent for the first time. And I saw The Producers.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think when I was in 8th grade, we did our field trip to New York. I grew up in D.C. And I guess The Lion King was sold out, or they had done it the year before, so they took us to The Producers. And I think the movie is a lot tamer than the musical is.
Yeah.
And this was a private school
Yeah.
with some Christian echoes from the past.
Yeah.
And I would pay money to see the camera on my teachers' faces as the show progressed because they did not know. And they wrote a letter to all the parents after the fact. I mean, for my parents, they were fine.
Yeah.
But for some parents, this was scandalous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a number about, I'm going to fuck all the old ladies to get the money.
Yeah.
And man, it was amazing.
Springtime for Hitler.
Yeah.
Springtime for Hitler.
Yeah. My high school every year had a show called Follies where the seniors put on a parody of the school and the teachers, and we play them. And some we write them. We write.
Dangerous
I know.
game.
Yeah, we write songs based off of popular songs to like change the lyrics, and those are the songs in the show. We did the student government was called Conclave at our school, and we did a Springtime for Hitler number starring the student government, and they had red bands on their arms with the C instead of the Nazi symbol.
no.
And I cannot believe we got away with that in 2003.
Incredible.
Yes.
I mean,
But we were still doing brown face on students for West Side Story
Oh yeah.
in the
yeah.
2000s
it's
in
so
Milwaukee.
funny because it's not needed. You could just go,
Yeah.
well, he's a shark. And that's that.
Yeah.
No, we did a podcast with Megan Gailey, and she did a show where they were supposed to be, I believe, Japanese, and they used tape.
Yeah.
I did a show where it was Japanese, and I was the accent captain.
He was the accent captain.
We did Royal Hunt of the Sun, and there were a lot of people playing Native Americans.
Wow.
And how did
in
they play
paint.
it? In paint?
Yeah.
Sure.
I did a
Dark
show.
in face paint.
I did a show. It's still a running show in a state, and it's like one of those like outdoor drama.
Which city
things.
state?
In Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they used to have like a whole thing where they'd have a Native American come in, and it didn't matter. You know, they'd cast white people. And if you look in the men's dressing room, like the showers are stained red from like those days still. 'Cause, like they would just, wild.
Man. They say, I recently did a show with Natalie Walker, who's a great singer.
I love Natalie.
Yeah, it was so much fun. But I was reading this stage door book that she was featured in. And I know people use as an excuse of going, it was a different time. But like reading, there was just like a part of this book where the author was like describing her at camp and like talking about her body and her weight in a way that you were like, oh, like the audience was like, oh my God. And even hearing it out loud, you're like, yeah, but you're like, it really was. We talked just so differently from that book. I remember when Seinfeld's always getting dragged for when he dated the 17-year-old.
Yeah.
But I remember when when people were really first talking about it on Twitter, I was in the middle of watching Seinfeld, like a read through. And there was an episode they meet with NBC, and the NBC's daughter comes in the room, and she's 15.
Yeah.
But she's played by like a supermodel.
Yeah.
But like the scene is like George gets caught looking at her tits.
Yeah.
And there's like a scene with Elaine where Elaine's like, "You guys are pigs," and Jerry's like, "Hey, you see it? You look, you can't help it." And I love whenever there's a big social change in an old sitcom, the laugh track really brings home the normalcy of like how people behave that way. They added a laugh track because we were all on the same. We were all just like, you do, you're looking.
Yeah.
I love. Or there's a Frasier one. You know the Frasier one?
Which one?
He has a black woman starts working at the radio station, and Frasier does a long act out of how frustrated he is, and he imitates her for like 5 minutes, and you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And given Kelsey Grammer's politics, it is a
Well,
little
we
bit.
didn't know then, did we?
We didn't know that then, did we?
We didn't know that much about people back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was back when actors they shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if I want to play the Night Terrors right now. Do I play it now or do we save
Let's
it?
save it.
We'll save it.
Yeah.
Well, let's go on to our next segment. This has got to stop.
This has got to stop.
This has got to stop. Something's got to stop and go away. Do you want to start?
Sure. Yeah. We might have done this before, but I have to reiterate it. This is gonna stop. Okay. Auditions, whether TV, film, Broadway, the amount of content, it's out of control. I had an audition recently, over 20 pages of scenes. 21 pages of scenes. 8 different scenes. They had 7 originally, and then the night before the audition, they said, actually, we want to have one more 3-page scene. So 21 pages of scenes for a musical. You need to see a 1-act play? Like, you need to see 8 scenes, and 3 songs. Okay, now, if you're going to give all that content, you're going to make me learn 8 scenes, 21 pages long, and 3 different songs that are varying degrees. Like, one song was 3 minutes, one song's 2 minutes, if you're then have me do it, because but you don't need it because you never would need that. You only need, a couple scenes, and then you're like, oh, we're good because maybe I wasn't right for it, and you wouldn't need 8 scenes. But you're not asking anyone to do 8 scenes. Even if they're right for it, you don't need it, and it's too much content. If I could see myself on the week-long vacation I took at a beautiful pool in Barbados or at the beach, pulling out these scenes that I then never even
Wet with the jacuzzi water.
never even was asked to do. So much content. It's too much. You don't need it. You automatically decide.
Then how much did you end up doing?
I did 2 scenes.
2 scenes.
2 scenes out of 8.
Here's
and one
my
song.
Here's my the unions. They clearly don't seem to have a lot of power. I really do think the easy solution that I cannot see anyone make a good faith argument against is if you assign all that, you have to sit
and watch
through the
it.
whole thing, or pay a fee of, what do we say? $20
$5
a piece
a
of
page.
paper,
Yeah.
$5 a page. I think $20 a page. I mean, because also, and then they get mad like you didn't prepare, you weren't memorized. I mean, that's crazy.
Well, because then this happened.
And
now.
theater, the
This
one where you're
happened-
paid the least is the one where
this
they
is-
abuse it the most.
I know, and this happened a couple times now where I'm like, it doesn't set me up to want to like kill myself for these sides. I'm like, I don't like. You're gonna. I'm like, because this happened last 2 times too. They've asked me. They're like, well, what do you want to do? What do I want to do?
This guy can't even choose his own adventure in a Goosebumps book.
But I said it, and then I'm like, I said, he said, what do you want to, what do you want to do? I said, let's start with the first 2 scenes, and then we did it, and then that was it, and I was like, well, should I have said let's roll it through, Daddy? We're doing all 8. Like, would that have been what you given me? Like, I don't know, but maybe it was
Sure.
my fault for just saying let's start with the first 2 scenes. But it's just that it's so much content. It's too much.
I'm 100% in agreement.
Yeah.
Are you in SAG?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't audition really though.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Hear that, Tova? Less auditions.
No.
Less-
Love the auditions.
Love them.
Love them.
Love the auditions.
Love 'em.
I feel nothing, but given that I haven't booked anything for the few that I've had,
Uh-huh.
I feel nothing but dread when I see that audition.
Yeah.
When I get an audition, I go, fuck me, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck me. I hate this. I hate this.
It just depends on the thing.
I get an email and then it's like my agent's like, they would love to see you for this, and I'm like, really? Because I haven't been in anything. So why do they want to see me?
Yeah.
No one was
Yeah.
thinking of me. Someone just threw my name in there for fun.
Let me tell you, the saddest thing is on my last day of vacation, I had to film an audition
Uh-huh.
and a short intro slate thing for another thing, submitting a character tape, but with a fun little slate. I came up with this fun little bit I'd do in the plunge pool on our deck, and so nothing's worse than I film this audition. I'm it's the last day. We have to leave for the airport in half an hour. And I get done filming this dumb little bit in the plunge pool. I'm so proud of myself for it. I think it's fun little thing. And as the way back into the house, I slip, fall, twist my knee,
Oh.
and felt a pop. And
In Barbados?
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and then I'm full day of travel. Then we're going to the airport, and me in pain, being I just gotta submit this real quick, just trying to elevate my knee while I can't pack. No, Nicole's haven't packed for me because I can't move. So I'm like, I just gotta submit this bit, a bit with me in a pool, topless, doing a dumb fucking bit that's never gonna matter, and I'm in so much pain. I'm I just gotta submit this real quick before we go to the airport because who knows if they'll have Wi-Fi there. I'm just and oh man,
Where were you sitting on the plane? Because I can't imagine that now then. In pain.
Well, I was able to. It was actually not that bad. It was JetBlue, and I
Okay.
was able to stretch it under Nicole's seat, kind of a little bit
Oh, I
on
see.
the
Oh,
thing
okay.
like that. But yeah,
Where
I
Nicole
still
put
can't
her-
bend it all the way. This is as far as I can bend
Is this
it.
the different foot than you heard
Yeah,
the other
this
show?
was this one. But it feels exactly the same. So I'm hoping, and it's already better. Stairs are still hard, but it's already a lot better.
Remember that girl in Oklahoma won the Tony. So there's a world if you lose both your legs, you can still get some acting work.
Okay.
Come do some yoga with me.
I'm not hurting myself because I don't stretch. I've fallen twice. I fell
Okay, come
downstairs.
do ballet with me.
I
Something's
slipped.
not functioning fully 100%.
Oh, you've never slipped? You've never run around a room with slippery floors and slipped?
No, I haven't slipped since on ice in high school once.
Okay, well, I'm sorry I slipped.
I'm not critiquing you. I'm just trying to lend a helping hand.
I don't know if yoga would have helped the situation. I don't know if
then
on the way down I would have landed in downward dog and we all would have been fine. I don't.
It helps with balance, though.
Okay.
Sure.
I don't
So
know. I don't do yoga.
you look at it and you go, nothing to be done.
Yeah, nothing. I mean, I'm
Two
surviving.
slips?
2 slips. The first was not a slip. The first was new shoes on very small stairs.
Yeah, so it's never going to be spontaneous with no explanation at all. You were just standing and slipsy daisy.
I mean, nothing's
Ice
been
skating.
broken. I'm not gonna go ice skating. Anyways, go do yours.
This has got to stop. I'm pretty sure. I guess I'm not. When politicians tweet, when Biden tweets, we all, not all, but most of us understand it's not him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there was a time where that illusion was something they did want to keep, but then they realized, well, half these people can't even speak a sentence, so how could we expect people to believe it? But we've gone too far. When Biden is on stage
Yeah.
and his account is tweeting, I go, let's get someone from the WWE in here to talk about the soft lie. Let
Yeah.
me play the illusion. Because here's what you could trick me into believe, that Biden said, yeah, go ahead, tweet that. Give me that at least.
Yes.
But
yeah.
but when he's literally on stage, you're like, okay, so who is this?
Right.
Who is this?
Yeah.
someone else. He's not
And
even
he's
by
not
the
even giving
phone.
approval to it.
He doesn't even know. He still thinks it's called Twitter.
Yeah.
But like, there was a part of you that believed, at least in maybe when I was dumber, that like they were looking at it or they approved it. They said yes.
I think Donald Trump's doing it.
Donald Trump is doing it.
Yeah.
People make fun of the COVFFA thing, but it proved that like this guy, he's doing it himself, and no one's checking it, and there's something nice about that.
I think some of them do.
Yeah.
If Biden had to write his own tweets,
Not him, but
he would no longer be the nominee. We would have known about this way sooner.
yeah.
I mean, who knows what he would have tweeted?
You know, the thing about his tweets too that I feel like has to stop is he loves to pose a question. That's sort of like we need Medicare for all, and it's like, okay, who are you talking to?
Yeah.
You're the president.
Yeah.
Like he's tweeting at us like we need to go and do something for him.
Yeah.
He does like also like sincerity doesn't work on Twitter really, and he did one today where let me just find it because it was so, you know, they're having the worst tweets in history where they're going like, guys, we can't be violent about this. I'm like, who are you talking to right now?
We weren't violent.
We weren't violent.
Yeah.
We
weren't-
didn't shoot him.
We didn't shoot him. A
That's-
Republican shot him,
that guy-
and we said we didn't want those guns anymore. And that, like, so I don't know. We did our part. What are you talking about?
Like this to me is like your advisors don't. Okay, it's a picture of him looking in the distance because he probably sees a ghost.
he's halfway. He's partially crossed over.
Disagreement is inevitable in American democracy. It's a part of human nature. But politics must never be a literal battlefield or, God forbid, a killing field. That is the worst tweet I've ever read in my life. Also, the ending with killing field is so not inspirational. It's so like dark, but in the wrong way, in a weird vocabulary. Who's ever said a killing field?
What's a phrase? It's the Killing Fields is a phrase, right? It's a movie or something. The Killing Fields.
Do you think it was I
thought it was a field of
Oh,
dreams.
the next link is to the Apple Store to the Killing Field. It must never be like
By
this
the
movie.
Killing Fields.
The killing fields. Oh.
See, look. Oh God, it's about Vietnam. A journalist is trapped in Cambodia.
He's never seen that movie.
I don't think he's referencing that. I'm just saying that that's what I think of when I think
Think of
of
the Killing Fields.
Killing Fields.
But it's like these, we must stand for an America not of extremism and fury, next line, but of decency and grace.
See, that shit is annoying too because it's who are you talking to? Everyone reading this is not the person who shot at Trump because he's dead.
Yeah.
So
Whoever is at the fringes where they're
Millions
like,
of
where
us
they're right
did-
on the edge
Millions
are
of
not
us-
following Biden on Twitter going like, okay, he said let's have some grace.
So
Yeah.
what this is for is to look good to people who, if this happened to Biden, wouldn't care.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
They'd be making jokes about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're fucked. Do you ever this gotta stop?
Yeah. Okay, so my birthday's coming up. It'll actually have passed by the time this airs. But when I throw a party, I love an RSVP, you know, so I can know who's going to be there, etc. And I'm fine with people RSVPing no before the day of the party. I am very anti texts that come in 30 minutes before the party.
Yeah.
A long text like, I can't make it because of blah, blah, blah. Don't tell me. You're ruining my mood. Just
Yeah.
tell me the next day
Yeah,
that you're
yeah.
sorry you couldn't make it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
But people who like feel the need to like, oh, I'm going to send it in right as it's about to occur. It's like, I'm busy. I'm running around doing things. And now I'm thinking, oh, this person's not going to be there.
Yeah.
I'm really worried now because I don't. Got it.
Well,
No,
I just got your number today.
I know. No, 100%. I think I talk about with shows all the time where they say it like during the show before
You're
the
like
right day
on
of the
stage, you're like,
show.
"I'm so sorry."
And you're like just you didn't come. And the thing you said where people say to you, they say, hey, sorry, I haven't been listening to the podcast.
Yeah.
Because it makes you have to do this thing like, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. No, you deal with whatever guilt you feel about it. Make it up to me in a different way.
Yeah.
People love doing that with
I hate it.
sorry, I don't listen, or I hate the I haven't listened in a while.
Uh-huh.
You know?
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
back when I used to listen, I'm like, well, why'd you stop?
Yeah. But my thing is, like, it doesn't offend me at all.
No.
It's actually like, just a weird thing to say because I'm like, okay, you're like, and I haven't thought about you in months. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, they're like, what do I say back to it? Is that there's like a weird?
Oh, you
mean-
stopped listening? I'm not listening to you right now.
I haven't thought about you in months. I don't know what to say, man. It's just a weird negative thing to like share, and doesn't really bond us or like I'm not expecting you to.
It's such
And
a
I've
mix.
told you, it's like all it does is be like, oh, I can talk about that person on the podcast now. Is all it means.
It's such a mix where I'm like, oh, you've never listened to my work, and then if they do, I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You listen to me like
I
talk
know.
an hour and a half.
There'll be
Yeah.
random people that are like, I'm a big fan, and like send me a thing, and I'll be like, oh, that's weird. Like it's not weird that they do it. It's like you're like, oh wow, they know a lot about me now,
Yeah.
more than we would as friends.
Fans I'm fine with. Like people I don't know. It is sometimes weird when a friend of mine reveals that they do listen every week. Some not always, but
Sure.
sometimes I'm like, oh, you listen to me? Like I'm actually expect when a friend goes on the thing about how like, oh, I don't listen to the podcast, I expect that they don't.
Yeah,
Like you see me all the time.
Yeah.
Why do you need to
For
listen to me
sure.
every week yapping?
yeah,
But those are the Douglas Goodhart, our very good friend who I saw yesterday. I know he used to listen. I don't know if he still listens.
Yeah.
And it does mess with my mind sometimes. Jackie, good friend.
Yeah.
I think she always listens.
I think she does too.
And then my mom always listens, but it's
We'll
delayed.
know. We'll know either
3
way.
weeks later,
now that we've said about those three people who I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
are
yeah.
the most like regular listeners, we'll see. You know,
My
we'll
mom
see
listens,
if
but
they,
3
if they
weeks
text
later.
us after this.
my mom will text me 3 weeks later and be like, I never said it like that. And I'm like,
Oh, that's right.
okay. And I'm like, which one?
Yeah.
Which?
Sometimes I love throwing out a name and seeing how it'll get back to that person.
Oh.
You know, like they'll be like, my coworker was like, you mentioned me on the podcast. I'm like, I love that I know your coworker
Is it
listens
fun?
now.
Do you ever throw a tiny bit of shade?
Yeah, I do. Like sometimes when I'm annoyed at a friend, like I will sometimes mention it on the show,
Oh.
see if it gets back to them.
Interesting.
Like if I said like, oh, sometimes I see Renan Hirschberg at the cellar and I feel like he's very cold to me and it hurts my feelings. Let's see. Let's go into our final segment.
You better count your blessings.
You better count your blessing. I got a blessing. So I have like a PO box kind of because things were getting stolen so much, and a bunch of packages came in. We're always ordering Amazon shit, and then I got this book and I was like, it was Comedy Bang Bang the podcast, the book, and I was like, I mean I knew I didn't order it, but I was like I think Comedy Bang Bang is cool, and then I was like Tova is like enjoys comedy, but this just doesn't seem. She's never listened to the podcast. So I called her. I was like, hey, did you get Comedy Bang Bang, the book? Maybe you had a client in it or maybe something. And then she was like, no, I didn't. And I was like, what the fuck? And then I thought, maybe it's I got a free book and they want a blurb.
Yeah.
But then it's my father,
Oh,
my dad,
Oh.
who we have a, tough, distant. He if I said dad and he had a gun to his head, what's the name of your son's podcast? 95% chance he would not. There's someone I know who has never listened to the podcast.
Yeah.
And he probably went on Amazon, looked
And
up
it-
comedy
and signed.
book, and got me a signed edition with Scott Aukerman. My dearest son, I'm very proud of you and all your accomplishments.
Aw.
Nice and vague. I look forward to spending more time together. Love, Dad. And then it says Christmas 2023, 7 months late. So I think he got this in Christmas, and
That's
he
so
finally got around to
sweet.
send it now. So it's very sweet. The sweetness tinged with absurdity,
Yeah.
oh.
not in a bad way, but amusing,
Yeah.
but trying.
That's so nice though.
And listen, some
Yeah.
people don't try.
I'll
Yeah.
never have that.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if that's how he tried? He said, "Hey, Ira, it's been a long time. I know you like comedy. Well, comedy bang bang." So thank you. Thank you, Dad.
Yeah.
Text me that you got this message. What's your blessing?
Okay, so I just had a great vacation in Barbados, and thankful for Nicole and her dad. Her dad, was very generous with letting us go to this place, and it was perfect. I mean, we've been before, but it was like just what I needed, minus the knee thing, but like perfect. The weather, the pools, the beach,
Do you feel refulfilled too? Because whenever you go, you make a post on Instagram that's like, you know what, I'm burning my life down and moving here.
No, I do feel that way. No, I don't. I think it would actually be very stressful to like live in like a paradise situation all the time. Yeah, I think something with time is weird in those places. Beautiful days and what you're kind of aimless. You're like, I'm not really. I can't really imagine doing anything.
Sure.
So I think that's hard.
You'd be slipping every
that
couple
would be,
days.
That would be hard. You're like. Your brain might turn into mush, and like I just can see being kind of stressed out that there's no aim. It's kind of aimless. But for a week, it's a nice thing to
You do
lean
great
into.
vacations.
And our special shout out to two really great restaurants that were right next to the resort that were amazing. Le Shack, if you're ever in Barbados, Le Shack, it's a great little restaurant, and Cutter's, excellent homemade rum punches at Cutter's in Barbados.
Barbados, if you're a down to listener of Barbados, we'll go there.
Did not encounter any in the resort, but
Do you have a blessing?
I do actually. You know what's funny? I was joking about how I never get, I'm not casted anything. I actually am shooting something next month. In Dublin.
Oh my
Oh my God.
So I'm going for like 10 days, and I had a call. Like I get there a day before, so I get like a whole day to myself.
Amazing.
And I've never been there.
I was just in Dublin.
I've never been there.
Beautiful, great vintage shopping.
Yeah.
Really lovely.
And I haven't really traveled this year, because I'm in between book advance checks. Let me tell you something. When you sell a book, finish that book quickly.
Yeah.
Finish writing it, because it took me 2 years to write it. And you get the first check when you sell it, and then you get the second one after like it's finalized.
Is it half always?
No, it's in 4 parts actually.
Wow.
So it used to be in 3 parts, I believe, and then like post-COVID or something like 4. But anyway, I'm still waiting for 2 of 4. So that one's coming soon because I just finished the book, finalized it with my endnotes and everything this past weekend. So I haven't really been traveling this year, money-wise, and so now this came along, and I've been looking to get the fuck out of New York for a while.
Yeah. That's
That'd be
great.
nice. 7-hour flight, smooth.
Yeah, I love a flight.
What?
Yeah, I love a flight. I love I've got my AirPod Maxes on. I love watching a movie in flight. I love a flight meal. I love drinking on the plane.
Really?
Yeah. Also, when you drink on the plane with the altitude, it makes any shitty movie you watch beautiful. I cried during the heat.
Yeah. I think it makes you cry also because you're in the air.
Yeah.
There's a whiff of mortality.
Yeah.
Where you're like, this is crazy what I'm doing.
Yeah, it's just like anything I watch, like I'm loving it. So
All
yeah,
right.
I kind of really love a plane.
That's a good blessing.
Yeah.
Ira, where can people find you? What should they watch? I haven't been listening to the podcast lately, but we'll put a link to it.
You know what I love about that too? It's in a weird way, it's a friend trying to connect with you, because
Yes.
they're like,
Yes,
they want to
sure.
let you know that they're aware of your work. They haven't listened to it, but they're aware of it, and they know that you do it. And they might even be a friend who tells people like, "Oh, Ira has a great podcast," but
Sure.
they don't listen themselves.
Yeah.
Which in a way is good,
Sure.
but I don't know.
If someone told me, "Hey, I've been telling people to listen to your podcast," that's
Great.
That's
tier.
nice. That's a nice,
Yeah.
That's a good little tweak.
Yeah. My best friend actually told me he was forced to listen to it. He doesn't listen, but his boyfriend listens to it, and they were on a road trip, and he was like, he had just started dating this person, and he was like, we got in the car, and he started up, and I'm hearing, why is Ira's voice in the car? And he's like,
Yeah.
this is my favorite podcast. And he was like, that's my friend. So, yeah.
That's fun.
Then he had to listen to it for several hours. But you can find me on my podcast, Keep It. It comes out every Wednesday. And my Substack, iramadison.substack.com, which is sometimes updated.
There you go.
Yeah.
Russell, where can people find you? Your hair looks great, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, it was. I know you were unhappy about the haircut, but like
No,
it
I was
just
fine
it
with
really.
it. But
it's
yeah,
like
no,
it got
it really,
nice-
it was
No, you
weird.
complained about the beginning of the podcast. I'm not making this up.
No, I know. Follow me at Russell J. Daniels on Instagram. And no other updates.
Oh my God, July 30th. I'm going to be in Australia. So Australia. I think I hopefully just landed in Perth or Brisbane. Brisbane, Perth, Sydney, Melbourne, Auckland. And then I'm back in the States after that. So just find me online at Gianmarco Soresi. And again, join the Patreon. We're going to put all the stuff
yes.
from the live tour there. Patreon.com/downside. Just for $5 a month.
Yes.
You could support us. And thank you to my mom. I love you. And this is The Downside.
1, 2, 3.
I should have done a Biden thing. We need grace and unity.
You're listening to The Downside
The Downside.
with Gianmarco Soresi.